to join English school.
Yay!
So today is October 21st, and we're on pages 44 and 45 in our magazine. Our topic today is bathhouses around the world.
那我们今天10月21号在44、45页的地方，我们今天要讲的是纵观世界的澡堂。
Oh, I love stories like this. I love to know about why we do the things today that we do. A lot of us just think like, oh, of course we go to a bathhouse, or of course we go to a sauna. But there's a very long history that most people don't know about. And that's what we'll talk about today.
I love shower.
Yeah. but think about this. In the past, a long time ago, it was great to take a shower. Then, at least in Europe, for several hundred years, the idea of taking a bath was not only considered a bad idea, it was also considered against God. Yes.
洗澡是不好的主意，然后是违反神意。
That's right. There's a whole history to this, and we'll kind of talk about some of that today.
我们要来学洗澡的历史哦。
Bathhouses around the world. People began bathing in natural hot springs thousands of years ago. This led to the development of public bathhouses, which remain popular the world over. Some people visit them to relax, while others go for their health. Public baths are different in every country, and some have very unique traditions. Some of the earliest known public baths originated in India more than 4,000 years ago. In Europe, some of the earliest baths appeared in Greece around 500 BCE. Greeks washed together in large indoor bathtubs made of stone. The Greeks were also the first people to use showers in these rooms. After a long day's work, both the rich and the poor could clean themselves while they chatted with their friends. Public baths also became important for Greece's neighbor Rome. The Romans introduced bathhouses in what is now the country of Turkey. These baths were called hammams, and were also where some important events like weddings or meetings were held. Today, visiting hammams is still part of many Turkish people's daily routine. Tourists around the world also like to pay a visit and experience this ancient practice.
All right, friends, before we begin paragraph 1, we got to talk about a few key words. So, of course, we're talking about bathhouses, and that's a short A. You want to write that down in your title. But a lot of times, we will talk about to bathe, and that's B-A-T-H with an E at the end, and this is a long A, to bathe. But this is a much more formal word. Most people talk about taking a bath and bathhouses, but this bathe word is important to know.
所以我们这边呢会一直看到 bath, bath， 但是老师刚刚讲的另外一个动词是 bathe， 它是 bathe， 所以多加那个 e 之后，你的 a 会变成 a something a 的声音，所以是 bath。
That's right. So get ready with your pencils because otherwise you're going to read this wrong in the future. This is going to help you keep this nice and clear. Our first sentence begins, people began bathing in natural hot springs thousands of years ago.
所以第一个句子就开始，他们说人们在早几千年前就开始天然的温泉中泡澡。
So we have bathing with a long A, and the TH is the voiced TH. So you can write down like zendong or something. I don't know. How do you mark that when you have the TH that is like the vibration?
We learn a little kicking 表演 at school, right?
Oh, okay.
So we will do like a O, 然后中间有一撇，好像是你的嘴巴，然后中间你的牙齿跟舌头这样 bathe 的那个声音。
Okay, write that down because bathe. Write that down. Whatever that is. My bushiban, we have a 1 and a 2.
Oh.
So yeah, so the is 1 because we 比较多, 2 because 比较少.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
Ask your teacher. 问问你的老师，你们是怎么写的吧？
Yeah,
因为
write
每
it
个
down.
人都不一样啦。
Because that TH really matters because it affects is it a noun or a verb. It's really important in this word. Now, the 2 words after that, we have natural. Natural is with a short A. 它结尾 AL. So we know this is an adjective. When we make it a noun, it becomes nature with a long A. Be careful there.
所以如果是形容词的话是 natural 那个 a 的声音，但是如果是天然当名词的时候是 nature的声音。
That's right. In this one sentence, we hit that twice. And that's bad luck. Our next sentence begins, this led to the development of public bathhouses, which remain popular the world over.
所以导致现在全世界仍然流行的这个公共澡堂的发展。
Some people visit them to relax while others go for their health.
有人呢是去 relax 放松，但也有一些其他人呢是为了他们的身体健康而去的哦。
And health is a noun, right? An N there. This is not the word healthy. Healthy is your adjective.
所以如果后面有 y 的 healthy 是形容词，这边的 health 健康是名词哦。
Now, there's something important we also need to talk about that we want to think about over this 2-day lessons. People just didn't go to bathhouses like only. Remember, people for most of history, like 99% of history, they did not have bathrooms, baths, or showers in their houses.
所以我们现在要了解一个故事历史背景是99%的人家里其实是没有厕所、没有浴室、没有浴缸、没有这些你们现在有的东西哦。
That's right. We all have that today, but for like 99% of history, they did not exist. You did not have it. So if you wanted a shower, if you wanted to poop or pee, you could use a bucket in your house, or you went to the public bathhouse, and it was a social event. There would be libraries outside. You could borrow your favorite book and sit down in a toilet with your friends. There's no wall. You go with your family, and we're all pooping and peeing, and we're talking, and then we're taking a shower. This was a public event.
OK， 所以老师说上厕所跟洗澡其实以前是所谓的 public event， 就是所谓的公共事务哦。那以前可能大家有听过茅厕，那也是一样的概念。洗澡的话可能会有澡堂，或者是有一些可能比较穷苦或乡下的地方的人，他们可能就会有一个 bucket， 有一个水桶在家里接尿。接你的排泄物，或者是装水洗澡，甚至去河边洗澡。
That's exactly right. It was just, you did it in your house in a bucket, which was smelly or messy, so you would do it in the winter or if you had an old person in your house. But usually when you went to the bathroom, it was like something to do with your family on Sundays. The way we would go to Yaming Mountain is the way people would go poo-poo pee-pee with their family and take a bath together. That's what I said. This is important to understand that because it's like, oh, we're just taking a shower. No, there's a whole thing. There's a whole thing here. Okay, let's continue here. Public baths are different in every country, and some have very unique traditions.
所以呢，在以前这个大家一起洗澡、一起上厕所的传统里面，公共澡堂在每个国家其实都不一样哦，而且有一些还是有非常非常特别、非常非常特殊的传统。
Some of the earliest known public baths originated in India more than 4,000 years ago.
那有一些最早为人知道的这种公共澡堂的这个概念，起源是在大概4000多年前的 India 印度哦。
Now, while we're talking about this kind of disgusting topic, so we might as well just keep going. Like, let's just go for it. Don't forget, when you poo-poo pee-poo, you have to clean yourself up, right? So in the past, paper was really hard to get. Something like this was considered very, very expensive.
在以前的年代呢，我们其实纸张是非常难得到的东西，是很高级、很奢侈的，不可能来擦屁股的。
That's right. So usually what you had was like a cloth, like an old shirt that you wore until just polgiola. And then you would wrap it on a stick and you'd put it in salt water and you'd use that. Everybody would use that stick to clean their butt.
所以呢，以前呢，其实会轮流，可能家里有一些旧衣服，他们就会把这个旧衣服的这个布料捆绑在一个树枝上面，然后每个人都用一样的来擦屁股哦。
That's right. And sometimes people were very naughty. Instead of putting the dirty stick down, they would put it like this.
Oh my God.
So Minnie and I are talking, and then, okay, it's time for me to finish. So I reach back to grab the stick. But remember, someone put it like this. So I grab it, and now my hand is really dirty. And that's why in English, we call this the wrong end of the stick.
所以在英文里面其实有 the wrong end of the stick 这样子的一个谚语的用法，那它其实就是源自于以前上厕所擦屁股的这个传统。有些这个假装这是擦屁股的头，你应该要这样放，所以别人拿的时候就不会碰到。但有些人就很坏啊，他们变这样放，所以 you take the wrong end of the stick， 你就握到别人擦屁屁的那个，然后你的手就
And then So that's why we say the wrong end of the stick. That's the real story behind it.
Wow.
Okay? Yep, that's what it is. Let's get ready to take a quick break. Welcome back to Enjoy English School, and let's begin paragraph 2. In Europe, some of the earliest baths appeared in Greece around 500 BCE.
那在欧洲呢，其中一个比较早的澡堂的这个概念是在西元前500年左右出现在希腊。
Yeah, so this is a little bit before the Han Dynasty, so you kind of know what we're talking about, right? So in the past, you would see the letters BC. They mean the same as BCE, but because most people in the world are not Christians, we don't use the word BC anymore. BC means before Christ. Christ just means Jesus.
所以 BC 这边其实就是讲是西元啦。那 BCE 其实就是 BC 嘛。
It means before Common Era, but it's 100% the same thing. We just explain it differently because worldwide, most people are not Christian.
那 BCE 会有2个解释，其实它讲的都是西元，但不同解释的原因是因为宗教的影响。
Yeah, it's a history term. You don't have to worry about it. It means the same as 500 years before the year 1.
所以是500年前，在元年以前500年，大概就是汉朝那个年代。
That's right. Right. All right, our next sentence says, Greeks washed together in large indoor bathtubs made of stone.
那这个希腊人呢，一同在用石头做的这个大型室内浴场洗澡。
You can go see them if you travel to Greece. They're very famous. You can go see their bathhouses. They usually don't talk about the public bathroom stuff because it makes people feel gross, but they were right next door. You can easily see them. It kind of looks almost the way they look like if you were really short, it looks almost like a kitchen, but they were in a big round room and you just kind of sat there, you went to the toilet, then you went to the bath.
OK， 所以老师说，如果你真的去希腊玩的话，你可能有机会可以看到他们以前的那个古迹，但他们当然不会讲得这么详细，但是你可以看到那个整个 layout， 整个它的设计是怎么样。
Yeah, they're really popular. So you would see it if you went to a place like Pompeii or something. Our next sentence says, the Greeks were also the first people to use showers in these rooms.
那希腊人同时也是最先使用 shower， 也就是所谓淋浴器花洒，在这些房间里面的人。
That's pretty funny to think like, oh, they invented the shower. To me, that's funny because, yeah, it makes sense to sit in water, right? You make the water hot and you sit in it. Now you got to push it through a pipe and falls on you. To me, that is kind of a funny idea.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, I think it's what we're talking about 2,500 years ago, and here we are still doing it, right? That means it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Let's continue here. After a long day's work, both the rich and the poor could clean themselves while they chatted with their friends.
所以在经过一整天的工作，不管你是有钱人还是穷人，跟他们不管你是哪一类的人，你跟你们自己的朋友跟他们的朋友聊天的时候，也可以同时清洗自己。
So they would hire boys in the town. So remember, you guys probably know this in the past, that your childhood was very short. Your free time as a little boy, little girl was very short before you started working. You probably didn't go to school. You got a job.
OK， 所以他说，老师说你应该有一点印象，你还是小男孩、小女孩不用工作的那个年纪的时候，其实那一段时间是很短的。
That's right, but in the past, kids started working as early as 7, 8, 9 years old. And one of the early jobs for like young boys is they would run around telling everyone when the water was hot.
所以以前的人比较早踏入社会，7、8、9岁就可以工作了。所以以前很流行的一种工作就是你会在城镇里面去宣传，那个热水放咯，可以来洗澡咯，这个就是他的工作。
That's right. So they would pay these kids like just a tiny little bit of money. But the kids liked to run and they were having fun. And they would give them the money to run around till everyone was hot. And part of their pay was also that their family could take a bath together. So it was actually a really good job if the kids could get it.
所以以前呢，就是这个都钱非常少，但是小朋友喜欢到处奔跑，到处去放送这个消息。然后另外一个，他们身为员工的好处就是，他跟他的家人可以一起洗澡，然后一起享受这个家庭时光。
That's right. So if your parents work at I'm trying to like a clothing company or something, then maybe you could get that clothing at a discount. That's kind of like the idea. If your boys run around telling everyone the water's hot, family can come in for free or really cheap.
所以就是有点像员工福利这种概念。如果你是在服装成衣厂，那你可能可以有打折，买衣服打折。但是对澡堂的小男孩来说，他的最大的员工福利就是家人的欢聚时光。
All right, let's get ready for paragraph 3. Welcome back to Enjoy English School. Let's begin our final paragraph in our Bathhouses Around the World article. Our first sentence begins, public baths also became important for Greece's neighbor Rome. I love Rome.
OK. 所以呢，公共澡堂呢，对希腊的邻居，也就是罗马，也变得很重要哦。
So the Romans really liked Greek ideas, and then they made them crazy. They said, hey, this is a good thing from Greece. How crazy can we make it? That's basically Roman history.
所以罗马历史老师说，就是可能就是从希腊这样子慢慢运过来、抄过来这样。
And then 变很夸张。Our next sentence says, the Romans introduced bathhouses in what is now the country of Turkey.
所以罗马人把公共澡堂引进了现今是土耳其的这个地区。
These baths were called hammams and were also where some important events like weddings or meetings were held.
那这些公共澡堂被称为土耳其浴室 hammams 这个字，然后也是举行婚礼啊，或者是一些重要会议啊的一个重要活动的场所。
Yeah, now this is an Islamic country, so this is not like Rome or Greece, and so their bathhouses were a little different. In Rome, in Greece, in Asia, like Japan, families would take a bath together. In Turkey, because of Islam, men and women did not take baths together.
所以在这边在土耳其，因为他们是伊斯兰教的一个宗教为主的，所以男女不会一起洗澡，全家人不会一起洗澡，是男生归男生，女生归女生，性别是分开的。
And remember what we said earlier. People would go to the bathhouses to grab some books from the library, go to the toilet, then take a shower, talk with their friends. It was a social event. Turkish bathhouses were very close to their churches, the word they call mosques. That's an Islamic church, a mosque. And they would take a bath before they went into the mosque to make sure they were very clean, and then they could pray while their bodies were not stinky and stuff. So it was a very different idea than the Roman or Greek bathhouses.
对罗马跟希腊的这个澡堂来说呢，它是一个像是一个交流的场所，所以你可以拿书去看啊，你可以聊天，你可以做任何事情跟朋友一起。但是对这个伊斯兰教为基础的这个土耳其来讲，洗澡的这个澡堂它是在所谓的 mosque， 就是清真寺 MOSQUE mosque 旁边，所以基本上你要进去清真寺去做一个礼拜的动作的话，你要先去澡堂洗澡才可以再进去。
That's exactly right. It was a very different idea, but still bathhouses were very popular. Let's continue. Today, visiting hammams is still part of many Turkish people's daily routine.
那一直到今天为止对这个土耳其的这种浴室的这个概念来讲，仍然是很多土耳其人日常生活的一个部分。
And that's exactly right, because Islam is still very strong in Turkey, and people have to pray every day, or they go to the mosque, maybe for a short time every day, but they will go to the bathhouse, clean their feet especially, and then pray.
那老师有讲说，因为伊斯兰教徒现今还是有很多的教徒嘛，所以他们的这种崇拜啊、礼拜的这种习俗还是有的，所以现在他们还是有所谓的澡堂，但是至少你要洗脚才可以进去啦。现在有没有洗全身可能是看个人，但是洗脚才可以进去，要干净。
I remember working at Domino's when I was like 20 years old, and we had a few people that practiced Islam. We practice a religion. They practice Islam, and they had to pray every day. So they would like go to the back, they would clean their feet, then they would like pray. They didn't have like a rug. They would open some pizza boxes and just pray on the pizza boxes. I thought that was really interesting. And they were, it's like, no, we're not being disrespectful by praying on a pizza box. We're not supposed to touch the floor. And I thought that was really interesting.
所以老师说他之前 Is that your friend?
Yeah, it was people I worked with for a couple years.
所以是老师的同事，他可能是伊斯兰教徒，那他们有点那个 Domino， 就是达美乐披萨，然后那个披萨盒不是很大吗？所以他们有这个习惯做礼拜的人，还是会去就是跪在那个 Domino 的那种披萨盒上面。他不是说不 是为了礼貌才这样做，因为他们脚不可以直接踩到地板。
Yeah, feet were kind of like Taiwanese people. You wouldn't wear your shoes in the house. You need to take your shoes off because shoes are dirty. That's the idea in Islam. Your feet are dirty. Clean your feet, then you talk to God.
对，脚很脏，地板很脏，所以不接触是一种就是一种崇敬、尊敬的一种表现。
Let's continue to our final sentence. Tourists around the world also like to pay a visit and experience this ancient practice.
Ancient 这个字好重要，古老的、以前的，对不对？所以来自世界各地的旅客也喜欢造访，而且体验这个古老的习俗。
C-I fa C-H here, so make sure you write that down with ancient.
Ancient.
All right, and let's get ready for vocab review. All right, let's begin vocab review. Our first word today is a noun, a bath.
那我们今天第一个字呢是名词，也就是 bath 洗澡这个字。
Now, we're going to take bath and make it our gerund, bathing.
变成动名词 bathing， 也就是洗澡，正在洗澡的动名词。
The verb form is to bathe.
那如果是动词形式呢，注意它是 B-A-T-H-E， 所以读音会不一样，是长音洗澡的动词。
Next, we got a phrase. It means all over the world, and it is the world over.
那就代表说世界各地的意思 ，the world over.
Then we have an interesting phrase, some, then we add a noun, verb to A, while the second noun, verbs to be. This is kind of long, so some do A, while others do B. It's a 会转的 B 起来。
所以就是有些人做什么事情，而其他人做什么事情，是把人或者是把一个族群分成两个部分，做不一样的事情，做区别的时候，我们会用这个句型。
Some people sing while others dance. Something like that.
有人唱歌，有人跳舞，这样。
Next, we have an adjective, originated.
那我们接下来有一个形容词 originated， 代表说源自于。
And then lastly, we have a wedding.
Wedding 也就是婚礼。
All right, and that's all the time we have for today. But we'll be back with day 2, and we have our own personal stories about bathhouses. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.